This is my summary, kind of a review, but I've done the walkthrough before. YouTube will find it. So this is kind of a summary of my Bullworker X5, which is similar to the currently available one. Firstly, I should mention that in exercise number 16, which I think is the abdominals, I made an error in my demonstration video, so be aware of that. I think I mentioned that the exercise seemed similar to one I'd done before, and indeed, the way I was doing it, it was similar. So it's this one, and I was saying it's similar because I was doing it incorrectly. The number 16 alternative is for the legs, of course. That doesn't do anything to the legs, so the idea is that you keep this here and lift the leg. Apologies for that. Always check what I put on before each exercise in this book. Make sure I haven't made a mistake, though I've been through and I'm pretty sure the rest is accurate. But also read it carefully to make sure whether it's one strap or two, because sometimes you can't see. And also to be sure which muscle group you're working. Just take your time and do them accurately. Because I found if you start doing something else, hunching your shoulders or moving other parts of your body, it's not working the muscles that it's meant to be working. And one thing I've noticed when I stopped my tendency to do this and just let my shoulders sit with whatever exercise I was doing, I began to notice that my back was much more involved. And it's kind of changed me a little, I think. I've got a sense of my back being kind of the centre of my body a bit more than I had before. Works very well. No rush. I think the exercises, if you take your time, concentrate, feel the correct muscles working, I put they're kind of yogic in that sense. And also there's another thing which I find is very good. When I was at the gym, using their machines of course, if I put 20 kilograms or 40, whatever it is, the minute I start to shift that weight, I'm shifting the full 40 kilograms. 20 kilograms, whatever. With this, the minute I start to shift it, it's quite gentle. It's up to me how far I want to go with it. But the start is gentle. So I like the idea of that. No exactly prescribed movement. I remember a guy at the gym also saying with the weights machines, we've got all these fancy machines, haven't we? And I'm wondering, do we really need them? That's what I'm wondering now. So you sit there and you do your whatever it is. And of course your arm moves in exactly the way. One of the guys at the gym said, you know what, you're better off using the ones with a cable or even free weights, because every time you do it, there'll be a slight change in angle. And therefore you're working a broader range of that muscle group. Whereas when you grab the handle and it's all on a bearing and its exact movement, it's not so good. Makes sense to me, all these big machines that cost loads of money. Do we need them? Didn't have them back in the day. I mean, no wonder. Now we've all got locked down, maybe we're looking at wasting our time and our money with stuff that is really just... So this, yes, when you're doing this, there's no exact prescribed movement. Sometimes it might be a bit like that, sometimes a bit like that, sometimes a bit like that. It's got some natural movement about it, so I think that's another good thing. Excellent. I think it is. I think so. Variety. You can do almost anything, it seems to be, with it. Any muscle group you can think of. Legs. Of course you've got this, and of course you've got this, and of course you've got this, which is gentler and wider, and also of course one strap and two. It seems to me you could work any muscle group you can think of abdominals. This isn't one of their exercises, well, they do a similar one. I could even sit in a chair if it suited me, I imagine, and make my own exercises up, providing I've got some understanding what I'm doing. And with this, you're unlikely to hurt yourself, really. So I could do my abdominals like that if I fancied. Portability. And finally, durability. Well, this is 40 years old. I took it apart yesterday and put it in the bath with natural soap flakes. Got to be careful with some plastics what you use, because it might, but I thought soap flakes, it's just vegetable oils. So I soaked a load of stuff, came off. You take it apart by doing this. See the spring there? All of that I took out. The top, all of it cleaned. I thought, shall I lubricate it? Got to be careful with lubricants as well, because some plastics, depending on what the chemical is. I thought, no. I think I just cleaned the barrel with WD-40, just a tiny bit of WD just to clean it up. And I used no lubricants because the plastics seem to be, I thought, we'll see how we go. And I can tell you, after having cleaned it up, fine. Much more fluid than it was before I cleaned it, because it had 40 years of dust going in there and stuff. So durability is fantastic. Straps, fine. Could always replace them myself, couldn't I, if they went, but they're not going, so. "40 years later, I used it quite intensively for 20 years. And then for maybe another 15 years, it was, well, a bit more than that. Sitting there not doing all that much. And now again, it's getting quite intensive use. So I think that's value for money. New, they're about 100, just over £100. They don't look quite the same. I hope they haven't ruined them, because you know how things go. I hope they haven't ruined them. The only thing that went on this was one scale, which was a plastic stuck-on thing, came off, and you can see the remains of the glue there. And just the other day when I took it apart to clean it, this ring, power meter ring, which goes around the centre, which of course is of no use because the scale's gone, that little bit broke off there. But even when it was new, the power meter and this thing sliding them down to show you, I mean, really, I didn't use it. A bit of a gimmick, I think. You just rely on your own kinesthetic sense to see how hard you're working. So after 40 years, I'm not complaining that that's broken really and that that's gone. Excellent. Use it properly, take your time. Job done.